This week, we have the honor and privilege of sitting down with the one and only Matthew Munson. And when I tell you his story is one of the most inspirational and just unbelievable story that I've ever heard on this podcast. This guy has been through prison, he's been through jail, he has been through it all, and all to come out on the other side. And I'm not doing any spoilers. I want you guys to listen in, to dial in, to listen to this amazing story of this unbelievable individual, Matthew Munson, how he's gone through some of the toughest environments and come out on the other side to be immensely successful and paying it forward in an amazing and beautiful way. So dial in, don't miss this one. Can you elaborate a little bit more on your journey of vulnerability and what that's been like for you? Because I know a lot of men struggle with that.
Yeah. And I was one of them, man. I was the, I would do anything to make you think I was a tough guy, that I wasn't weak, that I wasn't a wuss or anything like that, man. I would literally put my life on the line and put my freedom on the line because I was just that much into my ego. But a pivoting moment was this talk that this old counselor guy gave me when I was locked up. And actually, I'm going to tell this story here because this is a big pivotal piece in my religious journey as well. So I was never a religious guy. Never grew up in a religion. Like my parents didn't go. We went to church for like free food and stuff like that, and because the
Hmm.
church would bless us and stuff. But we weren't there listening, trying to be better or nothing like that. We were there for what we can get. So this one time I was locked up and I had did my time, and you have to go up for like this what's called is like parole board review, and they review your case, review what you've done since incarcerated, and see if you're ready to be released back into society. So I did all my time and I was actually being a good boy in there. I was, doing what I had to do. I was going to school. I was getting good grades. I was overachieving and all this stuff like that. So I think, man, I'm about to go home. And then they hit me with this thing called, I forgot exactly what it was called, but they put me in this drug program. And I never was involved with drugs. So literally they like kind of just railroaded me because once you get in this program, there is no getting out. You can't like get paroled out. You have to finish the program to be able to leave. And it's
Hmm.
183 days. So I'm looking at 2 weeks, I'm about to get out. And then bam, I get hit with this. Hey, you just got submitted for the drug program and you got 183 days you got to go do over here. So I am pissed off. I was like,
Do
are
an
you for
additional
real?
183 days to the
Yeah.
14 that you had left, and then you have
Yep.
to get out. You have to clear the program, or else you stay.
Yep. Yep. Or you keep sitting until you clear that program. And then after the program, you get to see the nearest parole board. So they only came every 2 weeks. So, if you happen to complete it the day after they came, well, you have to wait 2 weeks dead time before you can even go up for a review. So I was like,
Okay.
man, this is some bullshit. And unless you're in the program, the days don't count. So I'd get in trouble and get in some fights when I was there. So all that count time didn't count. So my 183 ended up turning into about 203. So I did even more off of that dang program that I didn't need.
Mm.
But so there was a counselor in there and I kept getting in fights and and obviously like he had done counselor work, so he knew that me and my mom weren't very close. And I get a lot of fight over like mama jokes and stuff like that. And he said, he came up to me and he said, hey, I just wanted to know how it felt to be so easily controlled. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Mm.
I'm like, I ain't no easily controlled. And he was like, yeah, man, these guys control you, left and right. You're like their puppet. And I was like, oh, hell no. I started freaking out, cussing him out and whatever. And he's like, man, don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. He said, and I was like, dude, what the hell are you even talking about? He said, man, do you not realize how much control and power you're giving these people? And I said, man, I'm not giving anybody power. And he said, but you are. Because all they have to do is say something about your mother, which you've expressed to me in sessions doesn't really mean too much to you, but you're willing to sacrifice more time in this program, more time in this penitentiary because of this little word that they saying. So they do have control. If they don't want you on the block, all they got to do is say something about your mama. All they got to do is call your mom fat. So for the very people that you're saying that you don't have any respect for and that you don't care about, you sure are letting them control you. And then from that day, I was like, damn, and obviously that wasn't the advice that I wanted to hear at the time. But the day after, I really started thinking, I was like, damn, that old motherfucker was right.
Hit
Like
the
shit, like
head.
he's 100% right. Like I was giving them full control over me and letting them control my destiny essentially. And so I stopped letting them, have so much control. Like, I didn't fight anymore off words. If you put your hands on me, we're scrapping. But after that, I, started to tame it back. And then he would have more conversations with me as he's seen that, I was kind of taken to what he was saying, and he was just like, listen, I understand you want to be tough and you're a tough guy and that's how you got to live. That's how you got to be. Totally understand. But what I want you to understand is ego is the killer of men. He said, you can be the toughest guy on this fucking block. And if we transfer you to another block, you're going to have to do all that over. And it's the same way when you get out. You could be the toughest, baddest man in your city. And if you move 30 minutes west or north or east or south, you're gonna have to get that whole reputation. So you're gonna have to go through all that fighting, all those worries, all them sentences just to prove you're tough. And he's like, at the end of the day, who are you proving it to? Is it
Mm.
you or is it them? And I was like, damn, I really kind of took that in and I was like, shit, like that is true. And I was like, I claim that I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, yet I'm worried if someone's gonna think I'm a wuss or soft or so I just had a very twisted mindset when it came to that. So it started to kind of change me a little bit. Long story short, I go through this program, I do the 203 days extra time. So at this point, I got hella certificates. I got a completed drug program. I have done double my time, got all these grades and everything like that. So the night before my parole board was the first time I prayed and I said, listen, God, you know what I've been through. You know these struggles that I've been going through. I just got railroaded. I just want to pray, man. Tomorrow, let me go home. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to be in my family. I'm ready to stop the bullshit. Like I was super good here. Like just let me go home. And my counselor was like, man, you're going home. It's like a no-brainer. Like, you know, call your mom. You need a ride. Blah blah blah. You're leaving. You're going home.
Mm.
Pack your stuff. So in jail, what you do is before you leave, and especially if you know you're leaving or have a very good inclination that you're leaving, you give away all your stuff because you don't need it. You don't want to take it home, right? So I gave away all my stuff and went to this parole board. And so you can either get paroled, which you'd leave that day. You can
Mhm.
get continued, which is 1 to 3 months, or you can get denied, which is automatic 3 to 6 months. So I go in there super confident, laying out like I got a stack of certificates and shit like that. Parole board said, man, I really don't think that you've changed enough. So I'm going to deny you parole. So I got literally the fucking worst thing that could have happened. So
Oh,
now I got another fucking at least 3 months that I got to do in this motherfucker. So
oh
I
my
am, dude, I am livid, man.
gosh.
So I was just like, and I took it all out on God. I was like, man, God, what the fuck? Like, you ain't real. Like, how the hell would you do this to me? Like, I was doing everything I was supposed to. Like, I prayed. I was being good and being this. Like, man, I'll never fuck with you again. Like, and I would just like, honestly, even like verbally attack people that were in a religion, like Bible thumpers, and make fun of them, and kind of, I guess,
Mm.
like kind of bullyish, I guess, behavior, and just never didn't want to hear about it. Like get that fucking religion shit away from me. Like, I was just very against it. I just had a hatred for him based off of that exchange, and so I cursed God my whole life until recently. Up to the last probably I would say 18 months, I really got close to the Lord and repaired that relationship and realized that, hey, like you can't just come to a guy and never talk to him before and then ask him for such a huge favor and then blame him when the outcome wasn't what you expected. So, just looking
Mm.
inward, and that's one gift that I think that I've always had is that I never blamed anybody from the positions that I was in. Like I knew I messed up. I knew I made just dumbass decisions and I lived with them. I never blamed anybody. I never blamed the police. I never blamed the court system. It was just like, you know, besides that one time where they railroaded me on a case that I didn't do, I mean, everything that I did was my fault. I did it.
Mm. Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
like, I'm living in a town where they're putting, drug cases on you and gun cases and shit and, dropping you off in rival gang neighborhoods like some of these other neighborhoods. They're arresting you for shit you did.
Yeah.
So I was always just a realist with that and just looked inward and I just wasn't ready to change until I was, and yeah, so that's what brought me to, you know, starting to live more on the right side of the tracks and to kind of break into how I ended up started changing my life around is that 10,000 that I said I was saving up. I had met this guy and he was going to teach me how to do a flip because I had learned all this on Bigger Pockets, was scared to spend my last little money.
Mhm.
But he's like, hey man, I got a flip house opportunity coming up. My buddy, he's a veteran. His dad just passed away. They have a house up here in Bolingbrook, and I think it'll be a great flip. I said, hell yeah, dude, let's do it. I'm ready. He's like, I'll match your investment, which is the 10 grand, and then
Hmm.
I'll put in whatever else, and then we'll split the money 60-40. And I said, heck yeah. He's like, of course. And so we went over here. And so we meet with this guy, Kevin. He was the guy that, like owned the property now, was the inherited from his father. Well, he was living in Korea. So he was deployed over there. So he hasn't been home in years. Well, unbeknownst to any of us, the dad was actually rehabbing the property while he was away. So
Okay.
when we opened the door for the first time together, we look around and I was like, oh shit. And I turned to Kevin and I was like, the deal that we already discussed is off the table, isn't it? He's like, yep. And I was like, oh shit. So the dad had rehabbed everything except one bathroom. So
Okay.
great long-term rental opportunity, but not for a flip. And I had to
Yeah.
make this 10,000 flip and do somersaults because this is my only savings. And I just got laid off of the trucking job. Like it was like I was back to this as an all-in type of thing. And I
Hmm.
knew that, hey, once this 10 grand is gone, if I mess this up, I'm going back to the streets because it's all I knew. So it was just like, man, I got to make this shit work, man. And so that opportunity fell down, and I was like, gosh, darn, man, like what the fuck, man, I can't catch a break. And then that same guy that gave me that was going to do the house with me, he was like, man, why don't you get in business with your buddy Marty? And Marty was a guy that I used to do music with, and then our kids started playing on the same football teams. So, we ended up getting closer and closer. And I'd always hear like, he had this fence business and he was doing it on the side, and then he worked for a company as well at the same time. And he was like, man, I'm losing out on estimates, or I'm losing out on this money and blah blah blah. And I always used to joke with him, hey, I'll quit my job and be your secretary, like, and just joking with him. But after this opportunity, I was just kind of feeling a little defeated, and this guy was just like, man, why don't you ask him? Why don't you partner up? You're good at talking people. I think you're a little bit more business savvy. And with his hard work and his experience in the fencing game, I think that you guys could, at least make some money together. And I said, man, why the hell would he want to partner up with me? I don't know anything about fences. Only thing I've ever done is jump them. um, and so he was like, man, well, shit, it's worth a try. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So right there in his office, I picked it up, called the guy, and said, hey, man, I know you're looking for a truck. I know you're looking, to get some things to optimize because he was doing the business out of a Grand Prix, man. So you can only imagine, running a fence business out of a Grand Prix. I mean, not a lot of
Oh
space.
my goodness. No, no.
um, so I was like, I know you need a truck, blah blah blah, and he was like, yeah, man, and I was just like, well, hey, if I was to buy the truck and like give you some money down, like, would you be interested in partnering up on the business? And he's like, well, how much are you looking to get? And I was like, well, 50%. And I didn't know how to
Yeah.
negotiate business. So what the hell? I'd never been in any kind of business.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, what? And the dude's looking at me. He's like pretty much, I told you so. I was just like giving him like, damn, I'm shocked face. Like, fuck, he really said yes. What the fuck? I was like,
Wow.
oh, holy moly, like, damn, So we did that. We got the truck and bought some stuff to be more efficient in the business, just to make things quicker and easier on the
Solve
guys.
problems. Solve
Yeah,
problems.
exactly. And so unfortunately, when we started was March of 2020,
Oh,
right when
gee.
COVID hit.
Yeah. One
So
month later,
business just
boom.
shut down, man. I was like,
Wow.
no, my 10 grand. Man, this is crazy,
Bro.
And I was like, oh my God. And it was just like the story of my life. It's always, I get an opportunity and then it's ripped away. So I was like, oh shit, like what's going to go on? But we didn't jump to any conclusions. We're just like, hey, we're going to ride this out. Luckily, they made us like essential or whatever. I forgot what they named it, where
Yeah.
you could still
Yeah.
work. So they named us that. So we are able to keep working. And honestly, since so many people were giving so much free money and so many husbands were at home and getting the honey-do list done and getting that stuff, our business literally exploded. So I
Wow.
invested in this company for 10 grand,
Hmm.
right? And really, I didn't give him any money. I literally just bought stuff for the
Yeah.
business, right?
Hmm.
And then I took over like sales and operations and stuff like that, but with no experience at all. Never did sales besides, street pharmaceuticals, and never done any kind of like training of any kind.
Hmm.
And so I go into this, but I was just like, man, I'm gonna give it my all, man. I mean, it's all in, man. It's all on black, man. It's gotta work, man. But man, it proved to be one of the best decisions I ever made, man, because we ended up that first year, we ended up doing like $350,000 in sales. So it was crazy. So I was making more money than I was with the truck. So I was like, oh shoot,
Wow.
like, um, leveling up in that way. And then the next year we did like $800,000. Then the next year, 1 million. Then the next year, 1 million. Then this year, over 1 million. So it is just like being constantly like going up and up and up and up. And
What?
I'm just building this thing. But yeah, so now I make between 12 and $14,000 a month off of
Let's
a $10,000. You know what I
go.
mean? So it's just, man, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. And then I got into real estate, started investing. I bought into a mentorship, just like the hat sub two, Pace Morby. And so I bought into that mentorship, learned real estate, and really I bought in for the community. And a cool thing about it was Pace is actually the one that gave me such a big paradigm shift because again, I always thought like rich people were like pompous assholes and stepping on people. And when I
Mm,
seen this guy's videos, like he was like overly nice and very like patient and kind. And I was like, man, this has got to be a gimmick. This guy is phony baloney. So I ended up going to a real estate BP con. So Bigger Pockets, they have their little BP
okay.
con there.
Okay.
And they had one down in San Diego. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I just said, that I got to make new friends. I don't know any rich people, so I got to get into rooms where I can meet other successful people. So I just took the chance. I just flew down there myself, stayed in a hotel. Well, inadvertently, this guy Pace was going to end up being there. I had no idea. So I
Okay.
ended up before I even joined his mentorship, I met this guy in person, and all like the heavy hitters in his community were all out there in California.
Mm,
So literally, I'm like thrown into like, it'd be like if you were, considering maybe getting to the WWE, and then you meet Vince McMahon and all the top superstars. It was just like
yep.
that. I was like, holy moly, like, and I realized this guy was truly genuine, and it completely changed my mindset around successful people. I realized I do want to be successful. Before, I just wanted to have enough to not stress over a flat tire or something going on with my water heater or something on my car, which would always devastate me back when I was super broke. I just wanted to be well off enough to not have to worry about those things. But now I figured, hey, I want more now, and I'm not going to feel guilty getting it. And so Pace and all his community and the people that he has in there and all his teachings and stuff like that, he has transformed my mindset so much, as well as some other people in the community. But yeah, man, he had a huge role on changing, my mindset and the trajectory of that. And so I ended up getting 4 rentals total since I've been in the community. They're down in Texas, and I've done wholesale deals and stuff like that, and made some good money there, and coached some people in real estate. Um,
mm,
Trying to have acquisitions and stuff like that and dispositions. I got partnered up with this guy named Sam Singh. He was an awesome guy, which happens to have one of my favorite podcasts called Think Big.
okay.
Awesome podcast. It's free. They do it every week, and they've been consistent for the last 2 years. And just the amount of value that they pour in is just, So I started getting surrounded with successful people that were operating at a high frequency that I could relate to and that wanted to pour into me. Because again, I always thought that everything had to be reciprocated, but these people wanted to give me the game. Like, so
Mm.
you're gonna open up the kingdom and show me exactly how you got all your riches, and you don't want anything in return. There's got to be some kind of catch.
It's a catch. Nah, nah,
Go to
nah,
some
nah.
kind of
It's not
diddy
name
party or
right
something
here.
like, right. I'm waiting on that
Yeah.
drug drink and wake up with a sore butt or something. So I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, man, it's been one of the greatest communities I've ever been a part of, and just the immediate access to so many resources and so many people that are on the same line. So I started going to events and networking, and that's really where I really gained the clarity around mentorships and how beneficial they are. Like, so many people are afraid to invest in themselves. So many people are scared to pay a mentor, maybe even too proud to pay for one. But what they don't realize is how much life and time that they could save you because you're fast tracking yourself to success. You're able to leverage their mistakes, their successes, and able to get that in a fast tracked way. So the 10 years that they've been doing this, 15 years that they've been in the business, you pay them a small fee, and now you're able to gain access to all that information. And that was one thing that was always to me, like, I know how to get some money. I've never been a problem. I've always figured out a way to get some money. But what I really wanted to learn is what are so a lot of people, they'll come up to these rich people and, hey man, how do I do this, or how do I scale to 1 million, or how do I do this? I wasn't asking those questions. The questions that I really wanted to know was, what should I be aware of that I don't even know that's down the road? Where are those landmines
Mm,
that as I grow in business that I'm not even knowing it's ahead of me, that they're not even on my radar to even be prepared for. So I always want to know, hey, what was your biggest mistake? What was your most costly mistake? And how did you overcome that? And that was the question that I always asked. So I attracted people because I was thinking a little bit differently. I wasn't asking for a handout. I was just asking for experience. Hey, I don't want you to teach me anything. I just want to know, hey, what was your biggest mistake? Because I just don't want to make that same one. I know that mistakes are costly, and I'd rather learn from yours than my own. And since I've been ready, practicing that pattern of learning from my parents' mistakes and other people that were involved in my life, whether in a positive or negative way, I had already been learning my whole life anyway. So I just wanted to learn those mistakes so that I wasn't crippled or sued or anything like that. So yeah, fast forward, here we are today. And, I have a couple different businesses. I help with coaching. I don't coach sports, youth sports anymore, but because my kids are in high school, but, now I'm able to have more time with them to teach them and educate them about financial literacy and business and stuff like that. So now my focuses are just on acquiring small businesses in the home service niche, still doing real estate more for a depreciation play and appreciation than cash flow. And yeah, and just building my business as big as I can. And then my goal is to become a motivational speaker or a public speaker where I can go back into these youth prisons and these youth camps. I want to be a symbol of hope and to go in there and to really just preach the word of not only the gospel of the Lord, but also tell my story. Because when I was locked up and these old people came in from church, I just went there for the candy or the treats or whatever they were bringing with them. And,
Mm,
so many times they got up there and say, hey, I know what you're going through. I know where you're at. Like, no, the fuck you don't, man. You're 67 years old. You've been well off your whole life. You've never been to jail. Like, how the hell you know what it's like to shower with another man, or sleep with another man, smell another man's ass all night when he's farting and shit like that? Like, no, you don't. So it turned off. I automatically tuned out the message, even if it could have been a life-changing message they were delivering, but the
yeah.
messenger wasn't the one that I was gonna, be able to resonate with. So I want to take advantage of, hey, I have been there. Let me be that lesson like my parents were to me. Let me be that lesson for these other people. Hey, don't go through the same shit. Let me give you the cheat code. Dude, there's so many ways to make money now. You don't have to be, in crime or in drugs or any of this. Dude, if you got a cell phone, man, you can make some money.
I mean, a lot of
Multiple
money.
different,
Yeah.
so it's just like, and a lot of people are just not, they're not taught this. It's acquired knowledge. So I just want to get the information out to those people and really try to help and change youth lives. I like helping adults, but my true passion is really to try to change the youth, right? Because they're the ones that are not in control of the environment that they're exposed to or the resources that they're exposed to or neglected from, and you don't know what you don't know, right? So I just want to be that source to like, hey, at least even if you don't go the route that I'm telling you, at least somebody was coming around and saying, hey, listen, you can make legit money. You can make money like the rappers. You can make money like the drug dealers and the neighborhood dope boys that you idolize right now because they have the money and you guys are struggling. You can make that same kind of money with the same kind of hustle, but you just move a different product. Whether it's drop shipping, whether it's real estate, any kind of e-commerce sites or anything that you want to do, it's dude, the hustles are out there. You can do credit repair. I mean, there's so many ways to make money nowadays. There's no excuse to put your family in jeopardy, your life on the line, or like all that stress. Like when I stopped, selling weed, even though it was just weed and, they're not really giving out big sentences for that. It was just, you know, how would I explain that to my family that I'm doing this for you, but yet I'm willing to remove myself from the situation and be taken away as the
Mm.
primary breadwinner, and I'm just gonna, excuse it by, well, I'm doing it for you guys. Well, shit, if you really loved them, you would change and come up with a legal one so that not only could you provide for them, but you could also provide the knowledge so that they didn't have to make those same mistakes. So that's been a huge thing for me, man. I don't want to just give my kids everything I never had. I just, I'd rather teach them everything that I never knew, and passing down that knowledge is very important to me, opposed to just assets and money.
Yeah, and you see so many kids that come from those homes where just handed assets and money, and then they end up down a road of addiction, and they end up down this, well, whatever, daddy just gonna give me whatever I need, and then that family writes them off because they need to, and all of a sudden the cycle that started, let's call it back in 1985 or 70, whenever you were born, it started again. Like,
Yep.
not to say that you would do it to your kid, but like, okay, now we have a person who's on, addicted. Now they have kids, and now boom, 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 the cycle starts again. Now that person's in the system, and now they're grateful for their hotel stay, as opposed to passing along knowledge where whatever, if they come across a situation, they know what to do, why the cost and benefits associated. And yeah, wow, that perspective is powerful. It's
Thanks, man.
really really powerful. I mean, this has been quite a ride, Matthew. This has been unbelievable, man. I mean,
Thanks for having me.
I'm just so grateful for your vulnerability to share, your courage to share, your ability to tell your story so well from start all the way to finish, hitting all of those very pivotal moments of yelling in the mirror and the coaching and the self-coaching and then the coaching the youth
Right.
and then again, how how did you persevere through all the peaks and valleys, man? Every time there seemed to be a peak in your life, there was an even deeper valley right after it. It was
Right.
the way that this story just went. I was like, what are we doing? This is crazy. How did you find the courage to persevere?
Honestly, man, when I was younger, before I had kids, I was too proud to give up. I never really was a suicidal guy. I was more of a kind of guy that would have did more like assisted suicide. I would have put myself in a position to get killed by the police or something if I was to go out that way. But I just never had the balls, or the pride. I would never let somebody stand over my casket and know that I took my own life. I know that people struggle with that and it's a sensitive topic, but for me, I just always feel like that's the weak way out, especially if you have kids. Like, dude, that is so selfish. It's such a permanent solution for a temporary problem. And it was just never in me. And I'm not trying to act like I'm some kind of hard ass or strong. I go through plenty of mental dilemmas and anxiety and depression and stuff like that. But it just, that never ever seemed like the right solution for me. It was, and whether it was just, I was just too proud or cared what people thought about me too much to never have those thoughts, come into fruition. But really, it was just, I just knew nobody was coming to save me. I had been self-reliant my whole life. I mean, I always, just got it out of the mud. I just figured out a way to make things happen. So I guess, I was just blessed by the way that I came up, even though it seems like it was a rough upbringing, even though, a sad story. But at the end of the day, like I needed that, because I wasn't I wasn't aware that God was preparing me for these hard times. And the only way to get stronger is to go through trying times so that you can show yourself those feats of strength, right? So if he would have never put me through those, maybe I would have crumbled in business when things didn't go wrong or when COVID happened or some of these other situations. But the fact that he continued to test me and then I never gave up and then I kept going, I built that strength and that resilience to no matter what happens, I'm going to get through it. And that's what my mindset is now. Anytime a problem comes up, all right, cool, let's fix it. Like, and my partner, he's like, man, how are you so nonchalant about it? It was just like, dude, the problem is going to be there regardless. So whether we get pissed off and we get emotional, we start screaming, we start crying, we start throwing shit, at the end of the day, we still got to solve the problem. So the faster we can do that and take the emotions out of it, the better solutions we're going to come up with, and the faster we're going to be able to solve those problems. And that was a lesson I learned from watching so many people that I knew that struggle with alcohol addiction, is because they would be drowning themselves out to negate the problem, but then they would be causing more problems and snowballing them by now you're out the money because of the drinking. You probably made some dumb decisions. You maybe bought some Coke or cigarettes when you were partying. Now you're out all this money. So now you actually create another problem. And then as soon as you sober up, you feel like shit. And then
Yeah.
you got to still deal with that problem. So
Money, time, energy. Yeah, all out
it
the
was like,
window.
what are we doing here? Like this is like a hamster wheel of just horrible events. So I just never understood it. And that's just kind of how I always viewed it. And so yeah, I just never really agreed with like masking the problem. I just wanted to, like, even when, say me and you had beef back in the day, I'm coming to look for you. Even if you're the one that got the problem with me, I'm
Hmm.
coming to look for you because I'm not going to look over my shoulder. If we got a problem, let's fix it now, like right now.
Let's address
Um,
it. Yeah.
yeah. My kid's mom, she hated me for that because, some women, they don't want to talk about the problem right away. I did. Oh, we're having a problem. Oh, nothing, nothing. No, we'll talk about it later. No, let's talk about it now. No, no, no. And it used to create so much tension. I was just like, why do you want to carry it on? Let's like solve it. I'm not going to be mad at you forever. Let's have our 5 minute tiss, cuss each other out, and then get back to loving each other. Like, what is this? Why do we have to play the silent game for 3 days? I don't get it. But I was just always a problem solver, man, and because my life consistently posed problems, so I had no other option. So to answer your question, man, it was just I had no. What was the alternative? Like I heard this rap bar verse, and it wasn't like the most groundbreaking bar I ever heard, but it really put me in perspective. And it said, "You say life is hard, but what are you comparing it to?" And it really stood out to me. And I was like, dude, you're so right. Like, what are you comparing it to? Hard compared to what? And then if you start comparing yourself to other people, you know how many people are praying for the life that you're living right now?
Praying for
And
your
you have the
problems.
audacity to wake up ungrateful, pissed off at the alarm, pissed off at people waking you up or waking up with attitude. I don't think there's no such thing as waking up on the wrong side of the bed. No, you just didn't wake up with an attitude of gratitude. That's it. That's the shift that you need. If you're not waking up and being grateful for that opportunity that you were just given, 149,000 people every day do not wake up.
Mm.
You just got a gift and you're pissed off. If somebody gave me a gift every single time I woke up, dude, I'd be the happiest guy in the fucking land. You're pissed. You're mad at me because you woke up. You're mad at the alarm clock. You're hitting the snooze. What are you doing?
Mm.
Because someone right now is praying for the position you're in and you're super ungrateful. Picked up on a mindset hack because I used to be that person. So that's how I can stand with so much conviction because I used to hate getting up. I used to never be a morning person. But a guy put it in perspective to me and it literally gave me goosebumps and chills down my body. And he told me this story and he said, if I gave you $100 million, would you be happy? I said, well, hell yeah, unless I had to do some weird stuff, heck yeah, no diddy.
No diddy.
All right, but yeah, I'd definitely be happy. He's like, so nothing can, your girlfriend breaks up with you, people cut you off, you lose your job, $100 million, nothing can ruin your day. Nothing. There's not a damn thing that can ruin my day unless something happened to my kids. And he
Mm.
said, okay, well, what if I told you you couldn't wake up tomorrow? Would you still take it? I said, hell no. And he's like, well,
Mm.
what about $1 billion? I said, dude, not a fucking chance. There's not enough money in this world that I would want to not wake up tomorrow to be able to spend a day. And he said, you just showed me that waking up every single day is worth more than $1 billion to you. You better wake up and fucking act like it. And as
Ooh.
soon as he said that, the last word uttered off his lips, I got goosebumps. The hair stood up on my things, and I was like, holy shit, I've been thinking about this all wrong. Instead of looking at it as a gift, I was looking at it as an inconvenience. And I was just like, damn, dude, I am lucky. I'm lucky to be here. That's why they call it the present, man. It's a gift. And if you're not,
Mm.
like if you're not taking advantage of that and appreciating that, it's just, man, you're wasting it. You're wasting blessings, man. And it's just people just don't realize how precious time is and how much, how lucky they are. And everybody wants to focus on the negative things or what's not going right in their life. But what is? Have you ever stopped and thought about that? Have you wrote out all the gratitude? Have you wrote out every morning everything that you're grateful for? If you just started doing that every single day, your life would change. You would wake up happy. When I wake up, I do attitude of gratitude. Before I reach for my phone, I start telling God everything that I'm grateful for, my life, my kids, another day, a beautiful day. I don't give a damn if I woke up with a headache. Thank you so much for waking me up. This headache shows me I'm alive. It shows me that I was given another chance. No matter what, even my worst day here is better than a great day on the other side. I want to be here with my family. I want to be here chasing my dreams and my legacy. And then I do positive affirmations. If you wake up with gratitude and then do positive affirmations, you can't have a fucking bad day. It's impossible.
Mathematically impossible.
It is. It's just like, and you just wake up so much more fired up. It's just like, how the fuck can you how can you literally have a bad day? Because
Mm.
no one ever has a bad day. They have bad moments.
Yeah.
So if 1 minute or 60 to 80 or 240 seconds, am I going to let that throw away the rest of my whole day? Dude, not a chance. There's
Yeah.
not a chance, man. If I had 86, what is it, like 86,000 something seconds in a day?
Yeah.
So if I had $86,000 and somebody stole $200, am
Yep.
I going to flip out and blow my whole opportunity and just ruin my whole day because they stole $200? Hell no. And it's the same with time, dude. You're not having a bad day. You're having a bad situation that you lost control of your emotions. And now you're letting it snowball into the rest of your day. No, dude. Confront the problem, fix it, and you're going to have continue to have a great day. I cannot have a fucking bad day. And that's my mindset. There's nothing that can affect me. If there's a problem happens, we're solving it. But there's nothing that could fuck my day up that bad that I would just have a whole bad day like that. It just doesn't exist.
That's because you don't let it exist. You don't
Exactly.
allow it to exist. Your
Yep.
perspective refuses you to allow that as a reality, it
Right.
seems.
It's not even an option.
It's not an
You just can't have a bad day. People always joke like, come on, you could have a bad day. Why? Why would you say that?
mm,
Because you know what? I've been in prison and time went really, really slow. And I've been free and time went really, really fast. The time wasn't going faster and the time wasn't going any slower. Perspective was everything. How could somebody have a great day and a shitty day in the same time? It's not possible, right? It's just people are so focused on what they don't have and they're not appreciating what they do have because nobody is concentrating on the gratitude. Successful people are, but the people that aren't, that's where a lot of the mindset struggle is. And,
Mm.
you shouldn't be entitled. If you didn't put in any work, you're not entitled to anything. So if you wake up thinking that, the clouds are going to part and this opportunity is just going to drop in your lap, you're wrong. But that doesn't mean that there's not opportunity out there. There's so much opportunity, but you got to go get it. Nobody's coming to save you. There's no superhero here. You are the star of the show. So
Mm.
evaluate your day. Okay. And just imagine if you were in a reality show and there's cameras everywhere. Would you want to watch your reality show? Would you tune in or would your shit get canceled?
Mm.
And if the answer is no, that you wouldn't want to watch it, dude, start doing more epic shit to make the show better because this is your life and you only get one. So let's not make a boring ass sitcom. Let's fucking kill this thing.
Ooh, wow. So what is the next latest epic thing that you want to do to make this sitcom amazing?
The next thing in my life, man, is I honestly just want to help as many people as possible. I really
Mhm.
want to get on these stages, and it's not for a monetary gain at all. I'll volunteer. Like I just want to get the message out because I feel that so many people would change if they knew how, or if they found a way, an easy button on this side of the tracks. I want to save people, man. I want to help people. I want to give back. People poured into me when I needed it, and I want to return that favor. So it's just, any way that I can help, I want to be that beacon of hope and show you like, dude, you can come from absolute nothing, from jack crap, from rock bottom. It doesn't get any more rock bottom than in prison, inside of prison, which is what solitary confinement is. You're in jail. It doesn't get any more rock bottom than that, dude. They take your freaking mattress. You can't have any books. You get fed this nasty mystery meat that, is all a bunch of different colors that doesn't look edible, and it's just like, if I can rise up about that, and if I can have a good day in that situation, dude, how the hell could it be a bad day out here? And
Mhm.
that's one thing that always really confused me with criminals is that they would get out and go right back to the drug dealing and then get right back locked back up and say, oh, well, there's no opportunities. No, you just thought you were worth more when you really weren't because you could have went to McDonald's for $12 an hour, but now you're in here working for 50 cents an hour. How dumb is that?
I know you had your moment there where you were struggling with that balance of income and opportunity, where you could have made a band, where you could have
Yep.
made 150 a day. That's literally a 10x difference. What created the shift for you?
Well, honestly, I don't recommend this, but I was counting the boss's pockets every time I had a job. And I was like,
Mm.
he's making this and he's paying me this, and I'm able to produce this many of this. Oh, hell no. I can't do this. So I was a horrible employee in that regard because once I realized that I was trading my time for the money, and at the blink of an eye, if I quit or if I got fired or if something happened to me, dude, this guy's going to replace me. He doesn't give a damn about me. But
Hmm.
yet I'm out here breaking my back, coming here every single day, and nothing against W-2 and hardworking Americans. I mean, we need you. I mean, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I just never believed in myself. I didn't have enough self-love or self-belief that I was even worthy of this. I thought I was supposed to be a criminal and a piece of shit and just another statistic living off the state my whole life. But it wasn't until I started making conscious decisions. And that's one thing I think that people they misconstrue is just like, dude, the goal, the journey and the path to get rich is fucking hard. But guess what? Being broke is fucking hard. So
Yeah.
if it's gonna be hard either way, why the hell? I'd rather be fucking, miserable in a Bentley than in a hoopty. Why not? If it's gonna be hard either way, we're gonna go through that hard. Let's go through hard times to prosper and to help change your generation. And that's one thing that was huge for me. Ed Milet, he said something that really helped me put things in perspective. Like you are the one that's in your family. Stop fucking waiting for the next generation to, well, this
Mhm.
next generation is gonna change our no, it's you, dude. It's up to you. Stop letting the fucking opportunities go past you and start capitalizing off of these things. And if you don't want to do it for you, do it for your family because they don't have the benefit of knowing the information. So one thing that I've done, and is something that I've done for my kids, is anytime I learn some stuff or I go to a networking event, I film like a video recap of what I learned there. And then I put it in private links in YouTube so that like it's like not accessible to the public, but I'm essentially creating an informational vault for my children so they don't have to reinvest in those same mentorships. So I come and I learn about taxes, I make a video. I learn about real estate or some tax exemptions or some kind of cash value life insurance. All right, cool. I'm making these videos. And anytime I go to these things, I'm making those recaps so that they can look back. And if I ever check out earlier than I expect, at least they have that to go back and they look at that knowledge. And at least, maybe it doesn't change their life. Maybe it's something they don't want, but at least it'll plant a seed so that everybody else is normal. The W-2, the 9 to 5 is their plan B instead of their plan A. Hey, I want you to go after it. I want you to chase your dreams. I want you to take risk on yourself. Because that was one thing that was huge on me is I didn't want to take the risk. I was very risk adverse in that sense. And I didn't have a lot of, a lot of bandwidth to even assess those risks because I was operating on a scarcity mindset. And since I was always so broke, it's like I got to hoard all these dollars because they just may come. Somebody may take it from me. Somebody, something may happen, and that was one thing I really needed to change. And luckily I did, and now I want to take as many risks as possible. Now I want to take calculated risks, right? And I want to do my due diligence, but I want to keep taking risks because what I had to put in perspective is when I was struggling with that is that how many times did I take a risk to go drive some weed over here or some drugs or maybe drive impaired or drive and I knew somebody in the car had something on them? Like how many times did I take those risks
Those are
for
all
no
risks. Yeah.
right? Exactly. I took penitentiary chances for little to no gain, for maybe a couple $100 or maybe even just to be a good friend.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna risk and bet on myself. So I'll take risks for everybody else but me. Fuck that, man. So I
Wow.
just changed it and I was like, no, dude, you gotta believe in you. If you don't believe in you first, who the hell else is?
How did you
So
find that belief? Like, what actionable steps did you take to find that self-belief?
honestly, man, I just had to keep setting small goals, like small steps, create big leaps, So that's what I was, that's what really helped me out is that I just had to create those small W's for myself to start building that self-confidence that I could actually that I could actually achieve this stuff, because before I had so many self-limiting beliefs, I would have never thought I could be a business owner. I would have
Mm.
never thought I could, run companies or build companies. Like I've helped rich people for like multimillionaires. I've helped give advice that helped change their life. Like I didn't even think that was possible. Like, how the hell could I do anything? I'm not even in the position you're in. I'm not as rich as you. How the hell can I give you any value? But starting to realize that it just really kind of warped my entire mindset. So, and that's one thing I'm really huge on. Like, so I like to read and everything that I consume. It's just like when they say, you are what you eat. The same thing
Mm.
is that, you are what you think, that you are what you see, you are what your mind takes in. So if you're feeding it negativity and drama, you notice all these toxic relationships. What's the key component? They're watching like Love and Hip Hop. They're loving all these bad girls clubs and all these bullshit shows that are showing toxic relationships. So of course you're going to do it. It's not even that you want a toxic relationship. It's just you fed your mind so much that this is what a relationship is, that now you've curated this, this reality for yourself. So I figured, well, if that could work in a negative way, well, can it work in a positive way then too? If I fill myself with a whole bunch of positive shit and a whole bunch
Mm.
of investing and a whole bunch of learning and education and better belief systems, well then shit, I can pretty much mind hack my way into success. And that's what I did. So I just realized that a lot of the information that I needed was hidden in the books that I didn't want to read, right? And a lot of the things that I was trying to accomplish was hidden by the work that I didn't want to do. So I just started doing the shitty stuff, just doing the sucky stuff and delegating the stuff that I really hated. And that's really
Mm.
how it just kind of changed my mindset. And I just started thinking of everything from a business owner perspective, from an opportunistic perspective. And that's how I've done it. Not saying that that's the end all be all or that's the only way to do it, but that's what worked for me.
Wow. Wow.
And
I,
one quote that always really resonated with me is a quote that I heard and it said, "It's not your fault if you were born poor, but it is your fault if you die poor." And that
mm.
is such a powerful statement because it's so true. Like you have nobody to blame. If you're on the deathbed, if you're a Walmart greeter when you're 80 years old, it's your fault. Okay, I feel for you, and it
Mm.
sucks, but dude, it's your fault. You didn't go out and get the knowledge. You just were, accepted being comfortable and being complacent, and you got everything that you earned. So that's one thing. And funny enough about Walmart greeters, it's something that motivates me. And I don't judge them by any means. Kudos to them. But I don't want to be a 65-year-old out there trying to get a check,
Mm.
wondering when
Yeah.
my next bill is going to get paid for. We all know that, the savings plan and Social Security and stuff, whether it's here or not when we're there, if it is, it's not going to be enough to provide the lifestyle that I want to live. So it's not even an option. So I'm not even considering that. It's nothing. If I get it, cool. If not, I'm already preparing myself not to ever have to worry about that. So, I think that's one big misconception is, and people just don't want to put in the time. My friends, every time they're going out on the boat or going jet skiing or going partying or doing this shit, and I'm out in the house learning. And hey, why are you, how are you doing all these things? Because, dude, I'm making sacrifices. I'm sacrificing time with my family. I'm sacrificing time that I can just hang out or chill or relax. And I'm dedicating that and investing into myself. The S&Me 500, right? So
Mm.
many people will invest into the stock market, but dude, you need to be investing in yourself, into mentorships, into, if you need therapy, dude, go pay it, buy it. If you need health, if you need a trainer, use your money to do that, because you're never going to regret that, and you can't get the time back. You can always make up the money, but the time is so crucial, and that's what I'm all about, and that's why I'm doing all this. The legacy that I'm trying to create is for freedom. I want the ultimate time freedom, financial freedom, and I just want to do that, and to give my sons. I know a lot of people, the stigma is like, hey, don't leave all your kids this money, they're going to be ungrateful. For me, I don't have that same mindset. I feel like if I'm able to give my kids a step up and a helping hand, there's no shame in that. It's like I busted my ass to be able to do that. Why would I
Yeah.
want my kid to struggle like I did? That's fucking, I know it builds character, but dude, can't I just teach them how to just be a boss and teach them how to be an entrepreneur and teach them, other things that they don't teach in school and still have the same result?
Yeah.
Like,
They're going to
and
have
I
bigger
think sports
problems
is,
to solve. They're not
yeah,
going to not have problems to solve. They're going to have bigger problems to solve and
right,
bigger risks to take because of the level that you've placed them at.
correct,
I mean, I was blessed. I came up running residential buildings. That was my grandfather did that. My dad did that. They did it very successful. I have a network of everybody back in the whole New York City. I love them near and dear to my heart. But like I had to leave it. It's like, Dad,
right,
like, you got to here, not for me to get to here or to here. You got here so I can be fucking here, bro.
exactly,
Like, I'm
exactly,
doing you and all years of your hard work a disservice if I'm not taking a leap of faith. I can
exactly,
always come here. This ain't going nowhere. I've been
right,
blessed to land on that cloud of comfort and love and beauty.
right,
But then that's still success. But if I'm not shooting for the stars, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing it
exactly.
right. I'm
You're
disrespecting you.
wasting your gift.
Yeah, exactly. All his gifts that he passed on to me, I'm disrespecting them.
Exactly. You're doing a disservice, man. And that's, that's one thing. It's super sad, when I see that, and that's why I want to help. I want to help. I give so much, I have so many people joke, they're like, man, you should be a life coach because you give such great advice, because I truly do care, man. I'm not in this thing to get wealthy because, I want to go buy a bunch of things. I'm the least non-materialistic guy you ever met. Like I'm very simplistic. I want to create freedom. That's what I'm trying to afford. Is I want to be able to work if I want, when I want, from where I want, and I don't want to have to work if I don't want to. And so I want to be able to control that and be able to be there. And that's what I love about entrepreneurship is that the biggest thing is, yeah, I had some successes in business and I'm making good money, but the biggest success that I had is that I was able to be there for my kids. I never missed a parent teacher conference. I never missed a recital. I never missed a sporting event. I never missed a practice. It was just like that is the stuff that I'm more proud of. That, dude, the money comes and goes, but it's just being there for those moments, those memories. That is something that is irreplaceable for me. And even if I was making half the money I am, I would still do this because of the flexibility that it provides me to be there for them. So
Mm, I love
something huge for me.
I love that. So when we wrap up, I always ask, what's a goal? What's an actionable step of my guests that, we came on here, you talked a lot about goals, you talked a lot about speaking, you talked a lot about, these big, amazing aspirational goals. What is something that when we check in a month, yo, Matthew, how we doing? What have we
Right.
done to accomplish to get a little closer to this? What is something that we can promise to each other, to the millions of followers here, listeners? What is it something that we can come to an agreement here that we're going to accomplish between now and let's say, maybe a month, maybe a year? What is it? I want to challenge you.
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing that I'm working on right now is starting a new business. And the reason I'm starting this new business is actually to help my employees. So I have a fence and deck business, and every winter they have to go on unemployment which is cool. You know, they get the winter off. But some people, you know, that's just not supplemental enough income to provide for their family, especially after working all year. So what we're doing is we're creating an opportunity. So we're going to actually start a courier business where we're an independent courier service where we deliver, you know, medical specimens, small packages, stuff like that, everything that can fit in like a cargo van, a minivan, anything like that. But we're starting that, creating that opportunity in that business for our employees so that they have a solid work vehicle, no pun intended, to go out there and earn additional income, especially over the holidays and in that slow season. So creating that opportunity for our team members is something huge and passionate about that I'm, you know, all about and want to help people. I want to help change lives. I want to help change families. I want to give everybody the game. I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to give you all the game. I don't want to, you know, it's not hidden behind a paywall or anything. Like I want to help. So that's one way that I figured I can't keep these guys employed during the year. So if I can't in my present business, I needed to start another one. So it just gave me more fuel to create that opportunity for them. So to answer your question, in the next month, I want that business to be up and running and have my guys working. And within a year, I'd like to scale that up to at least 10 vans.
Mm, wow, that's an honorable and just amazing goal. Amazing.
Thank you. How
I'm
about you?
I'm excited to hear about that. Myself, I want to I want to pour my heart and soul into this and to connecting to more individuals, to helping them share their stories. And I don't want to chase a number of followers or a number of viewers or anything of that nature. I want to stay consistent with 2 videos a week. That's the consistency that I want to stay with. You know, when we talk month, at least between now to the end of the year, I want to go 2 videos a week. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Let's
That's
go.
it. That is the hard, concrete goal of one's going out on Thursday, one's going out on Sunday. No arguments.
Love
And
it.
consistency is going to build this.
Man, that and consistency is key, man. So many people get into it, they think you need to be perfect. No, you just need to know step one. And
Yeah.
as you start stepping on step one, you're going to figure out the questions you need to ask to get to step two. And then you're going to do that and compound it. It's just like reading books. I meet so many people that, hey, I read 100 books this year. Cool. What did you learn from them? What kind of actionable steps did you do?
Yeah. What action did you
Nothing.
take?
Read 100 books. Well, cool. Unfortunately, you don't get those little Pizza Hut coupons anymore for a free pizza when you read so many books. You got to be intentional. And that's one word that I really live by is intention. You know, like everything you do has to be
Mm,
intentional. You know, how you read, how you study, how you learn, how you network. When you're going to networking events, you have to have a plan. You know, don't just go out there to, you know, soak up all the high dopamine hits and stuff by telling people what you're doing and meeting all these people. Like go out there with intention. Like who do you need to meet that's going to help propel your business or propel your life or change your mindset or change your situation? And you go out there and you meet those people. Like have that intention. When you go to the gym, have intention. Don't just go out there and, hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, have intention, track it, track your metrics, and it's going to, you know, you're going to be successful. That's the coolest thing. Like, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So
yeah.
many businesses are just copycat. I mean, just look around. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's the
Yeah.
game. You don't
Yeah.
have to reinvent it. Just do what they did. Just do it a little bit better. Find a way to deliver that service in a lot better way and give those clients much better experience. And you can do all the things that everyone else is doing. And you know, that's one thing that's been huge for me is just doing everything with intention. And I tell my boys that, hey, every time you practice, practice with intention. Before we go to practice, hey, what is your intentions today? Oh, I want to get better at
Mm,
this, or I want to tighten up this, or I want to, you know, do 100 shots of this, or whatever the case may be. Is like whatever you want to do it, but just do it with intention. Don't just wing it. Don't waste time. Be intentional and be grateful, man. And you know, it's something I can leave with with your audience is just how powerful that positivity and gratitude is. Like it literally changed my life and almost overnight. Like when you change your mindset, you change your lifestyle and change your habits, you change your income, you know, period. You know, so if you don't like the position you're in, change your daily habits, do a time audit, you know, break down. Hey, you know, everybody's like, oh, why I ain't got time? Well, if I did an audit, I guarantee I can find some time. I guarantee there's some time that you're wasting or you're not being productive or, you know, you're doing something where you did have time. You're just not prioritizing. And we're
yeah.
not here to bash you. Just hey, you just gotta, you know better, you gotta do better. Period. You
Mm,
know, and if that's the life that you want, if you want to achieve great things, you got to be willing to accept criticism and take baby steps. Okay. You know, success is not an overnight thing. You're not going to get rich quick. So if that's what you're in it for, you might as well, keep playing the lottery and go to the casino.
Mm.
But in this business, you will get rich over time. You just got to stay with it. So and consistency is key. Not being perfect, taking imperfect action, failing forward, not being afraid to look stupid because everybody started somewhere. And whether you believe it or not, there's so many people out there that want to help you. And when they find out that what you're trying to do and you start telling everybody, that's another hack that I can give your audience is tell everybody that you see, regardless of their situation, their financial status, what you do and how they can help you.
Mm.
Because people are inclined to help people and they want to help you, but you need to make it easy to help you.
You
Stop
gotta
making it
sell
so
yourself.
complicated.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just like if I wanted, I would say, hey, Patrick, can you go find me a nice clean pair of shoes? I want a new pair of shoes to wear with this suit. I need you to go find that. Well, damn, that's pretty broad. I mean, do you want, penny loafers? Do you want dress shoes? Do you want Jordans or, do you want Vans? Like
Mm.
what size, what color? Like no details. But if I say, hey, you know what, Patrick, I am looking for a size 11 Jordans. I need it to be red and black kind of color. I'll do low or mid tops, whatever you can get. And I'm trying to be within a price range of 100 to 150 bucks. How easy would that be for you to help?
It's pretty
I
straightforward.
mean, I just make it super simple, or like if you're in real estate, tell everybody you're in real estate, even if you're not yet.
Yeah.
Because why? Because it's going to start putting that in the head. And now they're going to start seeing opportunities. And then when they see these opportunities, they're going to think of you.
Yeah.
But if nobody knows what you do, they can't help you do it. So
Yeah.
getting that out to people, letting them know what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and what your goals are. A lot of people think you want to keep your goals quiet. And no, dude, share them with the world because the world will help you achieve them. Put that out there, and the power of proximity is so crucial too. Get around people that are pushing you to do better, not letting you slack.
Mm.
Love
Yeah.
ain't lies, so
Accountability.
yep. Yeah. If you're around a bunch of yes men and they're not helping you out, dude, find a different circle. If you're not around people that are talking about starting businesses or building credit or changing their lives or fitness or wealth or anything, if you're not having those conversations and you're talking about people or talking behind people's backs or talking about parties, dude, you're in the wrong circle. Get out because you're spiraling to the bottom. You're in a whirlpool and you don't know it. And you don't want to wait till you get to the bottom and start drowning to figure it out. Like now's the time. Here's the life raft. You can do it. Anybody can do it, especially coming from. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not special. I'm just resilient, and I just don't take no for an answer. Like, any chick that I wanted, I was super shy to talk to her, but once I let her know I was interested, I was on it. I was persistent until you say,
Mm.
hell no, there's not a chance. All right, cool. I'll bow it out gracefully, but until then, I'm on. Like I'm shooting my shot, because you miss every shot you don't take, and that's,
Mm.
I heard a great analogy that said, what if on your deathbed, all the versions of their potential that you could have done in this life are standing around your hospital bed, whether it been a doctor, a lawyer, successful businessman, an investor, or whatever it is, developer, whatever you wanted to be, and they're all standing around your bed just looking at you like, damn, all because you're too scared, all because you didn't want to put in the work, all because you didn't want to ask for help, and it was just like, man, if I would hate to be in that position, and so I just want to take advantage of every day that I'm blessed. God is good. I am, way too blessed to be stressed. So, I just can't thank him enough, and it's crazy that we never had a relationship up until these last 18 months, but I'm so glad. And I get so many friends like, what, you're in religion, you talking God, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, hey, I don't give a damn what y'all think, man. I'm just living me. I'm unapologetically myself. I know where I came from. I know where I'm headed. I still got a long way to go, but man, I am on the right path. And that's all due to mindset. So,
Mm.
you want to change your life. This has got to change, man. This is the 6 inches of real estate that you really need to be focused on. And once you master that, you can literally master anything. It's a real hack.
Wow. That's unbelievable. So many golden nuggets of just knowledge bombs left and right, man. This is I just
Man, I want to help
again,
people, man. I really do, man. I hope I inspire somebody.
you've
Um,
inspired
I
me.
really
They started here. We haven't put this out yet, but you've inspired me already, my man. This has been
man, that's awesome, man.
unbelievable and wow.
I
Wow.
love that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here. God chose me to give me all these second chances, man. I was supposed to be lost in the system, man.
Mm.
Um, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
How dare I fumble my opportunity?
How dare
I mean,
you?
that the audacity, man, that I would have to be ungrateful and to not take advantage of this is, I'm just not going to spit in God's face like that. And so I'm waking up every day and I'm choosing to be great. I'm choosing to be the best version of myself, 1% better every day. And I do have off days, but guess what? I just don't have two in a row.
Yeah.
It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to slick, but just don't make a habit out of it. Just don't do it twice in a row.
Don't keep
Okay.
fucking
If you
up.
get cheated on and you stay with the chick and it doesn't work out, okay, cool. For the next relationship, don't get cheated on. Same
Hmm.
thing with life. Okay. If something isn't working, don't keep doing it and thinking something's going to change.
Yeah.
Or if you're on a diet or if you're trying to lose weight, oh, damn. Well, I ended up drinking that soda or drink the milkshake or went to McDonald's. Okay, cool. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just consistency over perfection.
Hmm.
Because as
Hmm.
long as you make small, consistent efforts over time, the compounding interest effect is going to take it, go into effect, and the results are going to be astounding. And before you know it, you're going to be so much further than you thought. Because what you're doing today is going to affect where you're at in 5 years. So if you did nothing today, and if you're doing nothing to get to your goals, well, then you're exactly where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Doing nothing, accomplishing nothing. So plant that seed today and really just keep watering it. Hack is, like I said, if you don't have time, start trading Netflix for YouTube or podcast.
Hmm.
Okay. Start eliminating your music set list and start coming up with a playlist set list. Start listening to people that are talking about, if you don't have any kind of mentors, if you don't have any kind of successful people that are around you, create that by the people that are online. Leverage those relationships, leverage that information. You may not have a rich friend or a rich uncle. Cool. Well, you got rich Uncle G, Grant Cardone, he'll teach
Yeah.
you some stuff. All you got to
Yeah.
do is listen. There's so many people that just get on there and listen. And are they going to give you the exact game? Maybe not, but they're going to give you enough nuggets to go out and seek the information that is going to give you the answers to changing your life. And that's what I always did. I wasn't expecting people to just, hey, here it is, on a silver platter. Hey, I expected, hey, just give me, where do I need to look?
Yeah.
What's the word that I'm missing? Where's that gatekeeper code that I just need to know so that I can get into that room so that I can learn all this stuff? And
Hmm.
that brings me to my next point is understanding the power of who, not how. You don't need to learn how to do everything.
Yeah.
You need to learn who knows how to do it and then pay them to leverage and fast track yourself to success.
Hmm.
Find the person that's doing what you want to do, collaborate with them, and create that own version of your success because nobody is special out here. Everybody can do this, but you have to put in the work,
Yeah.
and getting rich, getting successful, it's not easy, but either is being broke. I've been successful and I've been broke as hell. Okay. And I much prefer, going through a lot of shit from an entrepreneur side and from a boss. I always tell my partner, I always say, I'm super blessed. I much rather have boss problems than employee problems. And
Hmm.
that's nothing against the employees and it's nothing against the team members. I love my team. We build a bunch of company culture in our company, and people love working with us. And that's because we take care of people. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to create that life for not only yourself, but be able to elevate other people. Like you need to reach down and pull people up. Don't get this information and have that scarcity mindset and like, well, I got to hoard all this information because if I don't, he may become a competitor. Well, dude, 99% of people aren't going to stay consistent. That's why people
Yeah.
that start a podcast, mostly many people don't even make it out of, 2 months,
Yeah.
let alone 2 years. So all you got to do is keep going. The game is
Yeah.
outlasting everybody else that quits when shit gets hard. The harder something is, the less competition you got.
Yeah.
Just do it because there's a lot of people that won't do it. Right now is the greatest time to beat everybody else out
Hmm.
because people are not doing the work. They're scared of the work. They don't want to do it. They want the easy way out. So as long as you're willing to work, dude, oh my God, it's never been easier to beat people right now. And I'm not saying that from a malicious standpoint. It's just you
That's a
can really
reality standpoint. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
like you can catapult your success so much farther than everybody else if you're willing to do the work. Just take
Hmm.
consistent action every single day towards your goals. Because, like a mentor always told me, you can't coast uphill, right? So if you're coasting, we're going down, right? Or we're
Yeah.
staying stagnant. So you can't coast uphill. So you're doing something every day that's pushing you towards your goals or pulling you away from them. So which one are you going to do? There's no gray area. Don't give yourself an excuse. Well, I needed a day off or I needed a break. Okay, it's cool to take a break, but it's not okay to quit. Understand the difference. You need a break, take it. But again, get right back to work and work your ass off. Because right now, just like a famous line from Dave Ramsey, live like no one else right now so that later on you can live like no one else. even though I got started with Dave Ramsey, I don't believe in a lot of his stuff with, not utilizing debt. I think it's for a certain demographic of people, but that's not for, the life that I'm trying to create. I want to leverage a lot of debt and other people's money,
Yeah.
of course.
His stuff's
Um,
helpful in the beginning, I feel. And then you
yeah,
want to start climbing, you can't listen to the same story
no.
that he's been telling.
And that's the thing with business and in life, man, the ability to adapt and pivot,
Yeah.
because nothing's just going to be the same forever. Just like real estate. There was acquisition strategies that I was doing last year that I would never even think of doing right now. And there's just so many different things that, you just go through, you have to pivot, and your ability to pivot and problem solve, the bigger problems you solve, the more money you get paid. The smaller problems, the least you get paid. So start solving big problems, start helping people, lead with value, lead with help, and it's just going to come back. Easiest way to make a million is to make someone else want a millionaire.
Mm.
So lead with value, lead with help, man, and I promise that it's never going to ever be to your detriment. You're never ever going to regret it. And if you create a whole bunch of winners, that's what I don't get about the scarcity mindset. If all my homies, if I put them all up on game and they all succeeded, dude, now I got a team of fucking badasses. If
Yeah.
I ever get in a pickle, now I could be absolutely fearless with my investments, because if I ever fall off, I got four other homies that are successful. Hey, let me
Yeah.
get a loan. I'm gonna good for it. I'm gonna get right back in. I'm jumping right back in.
They
So
wouldn't be
like
there
stop.
without you. So yeah, you're right. Build them up. They're not threats,
Exactly.
they're assets.
Exactly. Collaboration over competition, man. It's so huge. Stop trying to
Mhm.
compete and start trying to collaborate. Someone's doing something you want to do, get in that room, find a way to provide value so that you can learn from them. And that's what I'm all about, man. I want to be friendly. I want to be cordial with everybody. I want to help everybody, even if they're doing better than me. You know, um, so that's just where it is for me. God has helped me. I've been blessed, and I want to continue to bless others and help change lives. And I'm very passionate about it. That's why I coached for so long. I loved it. I love being there with the kids. Some of those days sucked, but the differences that I was able to make and the relationships I was able to make and hopefully make an impact on those boys, and is something that is priceless. So well worth the time and well worth the memories that I was able to create with my sons too. So
Mm.
win-win.
So beautiful. Well, again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Matthew, for coming on, sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, everything, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for having me, man. It was truly a pleasure, and sorry if I just went on rambles and just talking and talking, talking, but
Dude, don't ever apologize for getting into the flow state where you
right.
shared all of these nuggets of wisdom and definitely inspired one. And we're out
Awesome.
here to inspire hundreds and thousands and millions, bro. That's what we're doing
Yes,
here.
sir.
Such a blessing.
It is. And that's the key, man. Waking up every day, man, feeling that blessing, appreciating that blessing. That's
Mm,
something I can't stress enough. I know it sounds so corny, it sounds so cliche. You don't have to wake up at 4:30 and take an ice bath and all that shit. All you got to do is wake up with gratitude, say some positive affirmations, go over your goals, and then go out there and get it and chase it. Now, set the goal small to build your confidence in the beginning, and that confidence will snowball, and you'll start to gain more confidence and more clarity. You don't have to take giant steps, giant leaps, baby steps, baby steps. And those baby steps will compound and get you the results that you're looking for. I didn't get here overnight, and like I said, I still am a work in progress, but I'm working towards my goals. I'm not working no longer to get around stuff or to be evasive with the police or anything like that. I'm working towards goals, and I'm gonna trip and I'm gonna stumble, but guess what? I'm gonna keep going, man, because I'm falling forward. I'm failing forward. And if you keep doing that, I mean, dude, how can you lose? And then start creating win-win situations for everyone around you. If you see that there's a need, help. Like, how many people on Facebook, dude? I tag so many people in Facebook that I don't even know. I
mm,
just know if you have a business, dude, I want you to prosper. I don't give a dang. As long as you do a good job and you take care of people, I want you to win. I want you to win so bad. I want you to
mm.
win more than me, because I know how much it means to people, and you know, that's something that I really am passionate about. I just try to help so many people, and I just love it, and it's I'm glad that I was able to have that mindset shift, because there's so many years that I just took from people, and that I was an asshole, and I was a drainer of energy, and I was negative, and I was a bad example, and I was just a bad apple. And you always ever had that friend that came around and just they always had some negatives. Like, damn, man, that's so damn draining, man. You just always this negative. It's like, holy moly, man. Is
Hmm.
it shit's getting deep, and that's another hack that I can give your audience too is controlling what you see. So if you're a Facebook scroller, Instagram scroller, start unfollowing everybody that is not providing value, whether they're your friends or not. You need to do an audit of the exposure that you're giving yourself. So if you're consistently seeing, like for me, example, I got a whole bunch of friends on Facebook, but I've probably unfollowed 90% of them because the first time I see a negative post, I'm unfollowing you. Not going to unfriend you. We're still cool. I
Yeah.
still love you. I still want you to prosper. But I do not want to see any negativity. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the politics. I don't watch any of that stuff
Hmm.
because I want to fill myself with all positive. Because I don't even want to take the chance of relapsing into that negative life ever. So I just treat that like poison. So I don't want to poison my mind at all. So trade that Netflix for the YouTube videos, them instructional videos. Read a book instead of binge watching. Like you got time, but you just got to prioritize it. And if you have to start small by just eliminating one little thing and changing one little thing about your daily habits, start with that. Start where you can get started and be consistent with it. You don't have to change everything overnight. Go cold turkey. That shit doesn't work. Do
Yeah.
what you can do consistently. And that's, the best piece of advice that I can give is because consistency wins, consistency works. And if you're consistent, you're going to be successful.
Mm. That is that's amazing. I think we're gonna leave it there. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Such a pleasure, and look forward to connecting soon.
Absolutely, man. And if you ever need any help or if any of your followers ever wanted to reach out and, ask for advice or any kind of help, man, feel free to
Yeah.
reach out. Like I said, I'm here to help. I'm here to, share my story, share my transgressions. And so any way I can help you guys, any way I can help you, Patrick, man, just reach out, man. I want everybody to win. I love everybody. So
Mm. Thank you.
let's
Thank
win
you. And what would
together.
be the best way to connect with you? Would it be Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Facebook is just my name, Matthew Munson. On Instagram, it's Munson Biz, MUNSONBIZ.
Oh,
Either one, I'm attainable by. I'm not a big social media guy, but I am. I have access to it every day where I can respond. It's just I don't do a lot of posting outside of like stuff about my kids and just kind of sharing their victories and sharing their successes. But yeah, I'm always on it, so I'm always have access to it. So yeah, reach out if you have any questions. If I can't get back to you right away, I promise I will get back to you. But the best way and most convenient way that is go on Instagram and do like a voice message so
mm,
that you can tell me your entire question or your entire situation or give me a lot of context so that the time that, like I said before, like make it easy for people to help you and you'll get a lot more help a lot faster, right? Because if you want to go somewhere fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go somewhere far, you go with a team, right? So building the right team, having the right people around you, whether that's influences, mentors, people you can bounce ideas off, therapists, counselors, whatever you need. Um, you know, like I said, don't be afraid to ask for help. Please, there's no judging. I'm not going to share your screenshots. I'm not going to do any of that. If you need help, if you're struggling, dude,
yeah.
reach out. I got you, man, woman, or anything in between. I love everybody. I want everybody to win. So yeah, man, just reach out if you need something. If not, I'm just going to keep praying that everyone is prosperous and grateful.
Mm. Amen and God bless, brother. Thank you. Again, so grateful for you, your time, your positivity, your energy. I can't wait to get this to everybody, man. It's gonna be really special.
Awesome, man. And thanks again for having me and thanks for your time. Likewise, I know it's very valuable and man, I've enjoyed every single conversation we had. So thanks again, Michael, for linking us up. And
Shout
yeah,
out.
man, we're going to change some lives together, brother.
Amen. Amen. Oh, thank you, brother. God bless. You have a great rest of your day. All right.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Did that not live up to the hype? I don't do this, but I told you so. I don't like doing this, but I told you so. Ah, man, Matthew Munson, what an unbelievable story. What an unbelievable expression of vulnerability, courage, and perseverance, man, to keep going. Every peak had an intense, even more deeper valley that he had to climb out of every single time. Wow. Wow. Listen, I'm so grateful for everybody's time, for you guys listening to this. Listen, I want to be able to deliver you guys many more of these amazing guests and stories. So, number one, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you give the episode a like. And you know what? Let me know which valley was your favorite. that he had to dig himself out. Which one was it? Was it when he got denied parole? Was it when he had to when COVID hit and he thought his fence business that he just invested his last bit of savings and was going to go under? Which of the valleys was it for you? Write it down below. And if any of your friends that you know, friends or family that are going through a valley, that are going through the struggle right now, send this to them. They can see what perseverance and resilience looks like on a realistic level. So, listen, this isn't here without you guys, the community behind it. I'm immensely grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to the My Tribe podcast. Until next time.